The flashlight beam was brilliant, piercing, and they both winced, blind to whoever was behind it. There was another light coming from the same spot, and this one was a sharp red beam. Tea-Cake looked down and saw the laser dot right over his heart. As he watched, it flicked over to Naomi and centered up on her chest. Shoes crunched on gravel as the figure walked toward them, cautious. As the man drew closer and came into the light, he slipped the flashlight into his belt but still held the gun on them. He had a pair of green, owl-like goggles on his head but not down over his eyes. He was holding an M16 with a laser scope. Naomi spoke first. It came out more of a shout, as she could barely hear herself. "Roberto?" Roberto stopped. "Naomi?" Tea-Cake wiped more blood from his dripping, injured ear. "Do you mind?" he said, gesturing down at his chest where the red dot had recentered itself over his heart. "I've had about enough of fucking guns pointed at me, okay, fucker?" Roberto lowered the rifle. "And you must be the other guy." Tea-Cake looked around the parking area, the driveway, the hillside. "Where's the rest of your crew, man?" Roberto took a moment. "I'm it." "You're it?" Naomi shouted. Roberto looked at Tea-Cake. "Why is she shouting?" "Gunshots. A 45 next to her ear. I think she can hear a little bit in the right." Roberto looked at the building. "Who's got a gun in there?" "So far, everybody but us." Roberto nodded and hoped Trini still knew how to pack. What was especially sweet about the minivan was that both the side doors could slide open electronically and the back hatch went up too. Tea-Cake had been singularly unimpressed by the white Mazda when Roberto first led them toward it. "You gotta be kidding me, they sent one guy and he's in a fucking Hyundai or whatever?" But he'd come around as soon as the doors opened and he saw the array of military crates inside. The first one Roberto opened held one of the hazmat suits, neatly folded, with its dead-faced helmet staring up at them like a scream mask. The next several cases were standard Navy SEAL gear: a tactical vest, K-bar knife, Heckler & Koch machine pistol, sniper rifle, half a dozen breaching charges for removing iron doors that might stand in the way, and a surprising number and variety of MREs. Trini was a mom, and she worried about people getting hungry. But there's nothing that really catches your attention like a nuclear weapon. Naomi's eyes had fallen on the half-barrel-sized backpack immediately, and its obvious age, military origin, and strange shape gave it away as the joker in the deck. "What the hell is that?" she'd asked. But Roberto declined to answer right away, arming up instead. Given all that had transpired in the past 4 or 5 hours, they required very little bringing up to speed. Roberto told them what he knew about the fungus, and they were already perfectly aware of its lethality. After Roberto was satisfied that they were both uninfected, there was a brief period of debate, during which he unconvincingly offered them the chance to leave. But that argument had collapsed under the weight of reality. There were now as many as 7 infected humans inside the storage facility. The 3 of them out here, 3 of the only people on the planet who had seen Cordyceps novus in action firsthand, were the ones who truly understood the need to eradicate it right here and now. And Roberto couldn't be in 2 places at once. The only way to pull off his plan was with someone upstairs, making sure no infected bodies left the building, while the others went back down to sub-level 4. "Back downstairs?" Tea-Cake asked. "Are you crazy? To do what?" Roberto reached in and pulled the pack forward, feeling his back twinge again. How long would it take him to learn that leaning at bizarre angles and trying to move heavy weights was a bad idea from an orthopedic standpoint? This time he felt the pain shoot out from his sacroiliac and radiate all the way down his right leg, a hot, searing feeling that reached his big toe. The muscles of his lower back, having voiced their objection, released their hold on his spine after a few seconds, but their point had been made. Roberto bent his knees and dragged the pack carefully to the edge of the cargo area. He stopped and thought for a long moment. There was no escaping reality. He could bob and weave for as long as he wanted, but eventually it was going to punch him in the face. He decided to stop dancing with it. He turned and looked at Tea-Cake and Naomi. "You're going to have to place the device." Naomi, who had